By the way, why does it say Division 2 Britain? Should be Division 1, right?
Yes, that's a mistake. And on that note, welcome guys to Indian Racing League. This is Division 1 and not Division 2, despite what it says in the
Yes,
stream
asterisks.
title. Asterisks. And we are in round 4 of 17. Oh, I think it's round 5. I'm not right. It's round 5. The first sprint race weekend, first of the 3 sprint race weekends this season. It's a bright sunny day here in Silverstone, unlike last night. And with me in the comms box is last night's race winner, Smith, who did a brilliant no stop strategy. I wonder who recommended that to him. But Smith, welcome to the comms box and talk us about last night's race.
What is up, Malav? Well, yeah, welcome to Division 1 IRL Britain race, round 5. Silverstone, interesting track, something I really like over here because it's really flowy for a wheel drive, especially the Magnussen Beckett section. And yeah, yesterday it being a full wet race in sprint and the main race, the feature race. I guess it all came down to how everybody put their setup during the quali session. So I guess we were all in the same party and we all had, I think, a very same setup, not even similar, I would say. So it all came down to, I guess, the skills I would say. Well, I'm not
Ouch.
boasting, but I mean, like, it's, I think it was in division sorry, season 1 of um, Drive to Survive, where someone said that wets is something which, it's an equal playing field, level playing field, my bad. So it all comes down to how one is actually, feeling the car driving around. And I guess Silverstone, one of the good tracks for me. It did play out well and staying away from incidents, so it was good. But here we are, and Azun, being Azun, has already retired from the session in the pits, planning to start from the back. And players taking some time to get out of pits. Only Sume and Viper Speed on an out lap. Does that mean that they were trying to find a setup for a wet session?
Yeah, it is quite likely that we have a wet race or at least a wet sprint race on the card. So we'll keep an eye out on the track. Sumer, of course, one of the reserves and season 5 championship winner with IRL, is on the track. He is on the hanger straight towards Stowe and he will be starting a lap soon. But yes, Silverstone, one of those tracks where it's a wide track. It's difficult to crash out here. But yeah, I
Yeah.
did crash out despite that in those treacherous conditions last night. But you can go side by side for a lot of corners over here, and that does make the racing all the more entertaining. But yes, of course, in dries there could be DRS trains that could form, and that might be a little bit frustrating for drivers who are behind in that train. So we'll keep an eye
Right.
out on how the drivers navigate this circuit. We of course have a sprint weekend. I think that's 11 laps on the sprint race. We'll have 9 laps on in the sprint race and then 26 in the feature race. 16 drivers already in. Easy Bot and Abhishek should be joining us quite soon. So we'll have an 18 driver grid, which is a very healthy attendance, of course, helped by a few Division 2 drivers. Speaking of the championship, VFX is leading the championship by a healthy margin, and behind him, I think it is Caesar, who won in Singapore last weekend. So that would be an interesting battle to watch between the two of them should they lock horns for the top spot on the podium.
Yep. And I'm currently on board with Sume, who is, of course, doing a hot lap, has, done 2 sectors, is almost about to finish sector 3. But very interesting thing which I notice is Vifix is on softs. So this is again, the probability of it being a wet race is now even higher. Else he would have started on mediums or hards, just doing those runs, and then eventually he would go on softs. But that was a good lap by Sume, 27.7. looking at the lap time, now it doesn't feel that it's a wet race. So I am a bit confused now. But let's see. I guess did Vifix? Okay, Vifix is also on a hot
Yeah,
lap.
Vifix is on a
I'm
hot
not
lap
sure.
and he mounted that curb at the start of the Maggots and Beckett section.
Yeah,
Pretty,
but he's not deploying any battery from my
yeah,
view.
so that could be more race runs on the cards, but this time on the softs instead of the
Yeah,
hard tires. Vifix usually chooses the hard tire strategy, which gives him two sets of hards and two sets of mediums, so plenty of strategy options, but limited set of
yeah.
soft tires. Vifix across the line goes. Wow, that's a long way off. So much time, 1.2 seconds off. So
Yeah, I
definitely
think
a lot
he's
of
doing
fuel.
race runs because I do see 3 lap worth of fuel right now on his wheel. So let's see.
Yeah, right. On board with Rev King right now, and he isn't going as
Yeah,
fast as someone should. He's letting a car through, which was not on a hot lap anyway. But still, a lot of drivers in the pits, and I don't know why that is. I mean, by now they would have logged in their setup, so maybe they don't want enough track time. But they're saving the
right.
tires for the sprint. I'm not sure which one is
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
But
But
Rev King is back
Redstone
in
is
the
just about
pits.
to start the lap. Why don't you take us through?
Yeah, let's go on board with Redstone, who has shown tremendous pace. He goes flat out through turn one, keeps it in the eighth gear, and seems like that the car is still not revving as much as it should be. Now through the village section, keeps it in the fourth gear before downshifting to third, and this is a tricky zone to master in terms of traction, but he does well and takes plenty of the inside curve. Now on to the Wellington straight, and has now one braking zone to go before he manages to reach the loop, goes down to the fifth gear, and then it's a sharp right, has to ensure he hugs that apex, has gone a little bit wide, has to be patient on the throttle here, and he does that, and now goes flat out through the old pit straight and through the legendary corner, one of the most controversial moments of the 2021 season. Downshift to 7th, uses a lot of track on the exit, and that was well managed through cops. Let's see how much of a flat out section he does take here. It's absolutely flat at first through two corners and using a lot of curbs, but still keeping a valid lap time. That was beautifully done through Maggots and Beckets. And now on to the hanger straight, one of those overtaking spots on this circuit. Should be downshifting to sixth gear, goes down to fifth to shave off some more speed. And now through Vale, this is where Max Verstappen and Vettel collided a few years back. Downshifts to fourth, and then once again has to be careful on the throttle here and hugs the apex on the inside across the line. He goes with a 27.6, which is
Six.
just about a tenth clear of Not So Mare for provisional pole right now.
Yeah. And Vifix did put in a hot lap, which was, I think, a lap older tire than these other guys, and went 127.89. So decent lap by Vifix.
Yeah, decent indeed. There is an Aston Martin going slowly in the first sector. I think now they have picked up pace. Spectating URL Basel right now, down in P14, yet to put in a lap. Only three people
Yep.
putting a lap time so far. We're already halfway through the
Yeah.
qualifying session. That's something very, very rare to see. And
Yeah.
I can't really put my finger on it in terms of why that is. Bad Basil now through cops and entering Maggots and Beckett's. Let's see what kind of curbs he takes. It still takes a lot of curb, but that does not unsettle his car like it did for VFix on one of his prior runs.
Yeah, so it's him and I believe Caesar who are currently on a hot lap. It could be Viper Speed as well. Okay, Viper not my bad. Yeah, Viper Speed is as well on a lap, but let's see what Basil does as he's about to, finish the hot lap onto the penultimate corner right now. Takes doesn't hug the curb, so let's see what time he
So
does.
28.6.
128.69. I mean, huge gap from P3 to P4.
Caesar
Let's
has slowed
see.
down. So Caesar might be
Okay.
going for another run here.
Yeah.
Didn't really attack the last couple of corners, and Caesar onto the main straight and goes for another run. Yeah, it's 48, so that's
Yeah.
20 seconds
Khusrav,
off
in
the
fact, has
pace.
also started a lap. Another quick driver who actually, I think he crashed out in the previous race, if I'm not wrong.
He
Or
crashed
what
out in
happened?
China. No, he didn't crash
Uh,
out. Both Red Bulls had an
no,
incident,
no, no.
and
His quali had I think he started from the last, and then he was a bit aggressive in Singapore, if I'm not wrong. And both the Red Bull drivers collided after the last safety car.
Yeah. So they
Right,
didn't really
right,
crash
right.
out,
This
but him
is
and Abhishek's both had a horrible last few laps of the race. I think they finished
correct.
P8 and P9, if I'm not wrong. So he'll
Yep.
be willing to make amends there. Khusrav, of course, winning the race. I think the race which he won was Portugal. That was a couple of rounds back, and let's see if we can make it another an interesting stats thrown in the comment section. D2 has had 5 different race winners in the
Yep.
first 5 races. Division 1, however, has 3 different race winners in the 4 races. Fifix having won 2, Husrev having won 1 race, and then Caesar, of course, winning the last round in Singapore. Now, Husrev across the line, he's come in just a few seconds, and this seems to be a decent lap so far, but I think still he has more pace in the Red Bull. Across the line, he goes at 27.9. So that lap time from Redstone Derb seems to be pretty competitive halfway through this
Yeah.
session with just 7 minutes to go. I don't think anyone is going to beat that easily, at least. What is TBK up to? TBK is in the pits. He, of course, is one of those people who can really give the front runners a run for the money. And easy level, PSI legends.
What is PSI? Yeah, I don't know. He went too wide there. Too wide there. Even for a controller driver, I don't know. I mean, one of the fastest drivers we have in the league is Vifix. He's on a controller, so nothing's wrong with that. I don't know what happened there to him.
And I think VFX might have just started a lap in his Ferrari. So let's see how the first sector is going to be. And he's down on his time by 25 thousandths of a second. So we'll keep an eye out on his lap time. Is there anyone else who's about to complete their lap? I don't think.
It could be one of. Okay, that is Hoshrov, never mind.
Yeah,
And Redstone is on a out lap. So is I think that is Alpine of.
That's PSI.
So I guess it's only Vifix right now who is going to be the first person to cross the line. So let's go on board again. He's at Magus and Beckett's, and he's about to finish the sector 2. So let's see. He was down by 25,000. He's now up by almost 4 tenths, which is quite good. This could put him on the provisional pole, and goes a bit wide, and he brakes tight down to this section, and as he almost finishes and doesn't touch the curb at all, then and that puts him into P1. Very good lap by Vifix.
Yeah, great lap from VFX, but still took more curb than I think he would have liked at the exit of Whale. So I think there might be still a tenth or two in that lap, and he still has time to come back in for another set of tires and go for a final run.
And I believe Chips is okay. Why does he have half battery? I don't know. He's just started.
He's doing race runs. It says 2 laps for his tires.
Yeah.
Redstone, by the way, is on a lap. I don't know what kind of split there was in sector 1. So let's see what.
Yeah, he's
Redstone does.
marginally down, same as Vifix by 23 thousandths of seconds. So, but let's see. We'll immediately come to know right now as he finishes sector 2. And he is again very marginally up by.
Yeah, that's hardly going to be an improvement. He needs a mega third sector here, Redstone, if he has to put a dent on the time which VFix has set, taking all the curb at the exit of Stowe, and now coming through Whale. There's 2 corners to go, 1 sharp left and 1 sharp right, and traction coming in clutch for Redstone. Across the line he goes. This is going to be an improvement. It is by 6 thousandths of a second. Redstone is on provisional pole, and it's game on.
Yep. Chips, I believe, should jump into the pits right now if he wishes to do another lap. And he carries on. All right.
He carries on. So I think he doesn't really want to put in a competitive lap time. If that's we live, I think. Oh, Caesar! I just caught out of the corner of my eye. He was looking a bit twitchy coming out of that section in the loop, and
Vettel moment in an
in the Aston Martin too.
Yeah.
Caesar once again, he spun in Austria when I was spectating him in quali, and then he spun over here again. So let's hope I don't do any more injustice to Caesar, as he, I think, might just go around for another run, to be honest. VFX in the pits. I don't think Redstone will have enough time to come back out. Yeah, he's just exiting the Maggots and Beckett section. And I think Redstone might not have timed this to perfection. I think that's Redstone's quali done.
I think, is he carrying more fuel? Nah, okay. He's even out of fuel, in fact. All right.
Yeah, so I think.
But yeah,
Redstone,
that's most probably, yeah, it's done.
yeah,
it's done.
that's quali
You
done.
need.
Redstone is speeding into the pits to make the most of
That's
his
still
time.
not gonna help.
Yeah, it's not gonna help. I
Yeah,
think that's
yeah. Even
Redstone's quali.
Chips, for that matter, is not putting in any lap. His battery is at 100. He's just finishing sector 2, and I don't think Chips is gonna put any time as well. On to Viper speed, he's just okay. He did improve by almost 8 tenths, but still not that good of a great time. It's 130.1 by him. A lot of drivers in the pits. Only Quick Killer.
Yeah, and only 9 drivers putting in a lap time out of an 18 available here. Jishnu is yet to join.
Yep.
I hope he joins. I was not really reachable on Discord, but I hope he can join in his McLaren. No McLarens yet tonight, so it's both the McLarens who are out. I mean, who are not participating. Viper Speed, meanwhile, apparently has gone fastest in the first sector, and let's see how his second sector turns out to be. Where is PSL Legends? Was that him? Yeah, PSL Legends is probably his call is done as well. And let's see what Viper Speed is up to.
Viper Speed quali is done as well, if I'm not wrong. Because he's out of battery, he's out of fuel as well, and
yeah, I think the way he's taking those corners, I think that's pretty evident that his quali is done. Oh, he's up. He's still up.
Not really. He's still up. What?
With that,
I mean,
that
he doesn't have battery, so I don't know what he's gonna do. But let's see. I'm gonna be on board with him, and he dives into the pits. No, he doesn't. That was. It looked like he was gonna go into the pits, but let's see, as he's about to finish his lap, and that is.
Really didn't help that hanger straight without battery.
Yeah.
By the way, comments.
He was out of. Yeah.
Yeah, comment section, Srikanth saying that Hushrav might have better race pace than VFX. So let's see how that pans out. Hushrav on the final run, and he's up by just about 300ths of a second in the first sector alone. Where is Sumer? Sumer is behind him, and Sumer has made a mistake, I believe. He's down by 2 seconds, so I think that's Sumer's quali done as well. Redstone is on a hot lap, and it's 30 seconds to start the lap. I think this is going to be very, very close. VFX has just started his lap, and will.
Yeah, VFX has just started.
Yeah, VFX has started his lap. Let's see what Redstone can reach this in time. I don't think this is going to be very touch and go for the Mercedes driver.
Close, 10 seconds
but I think,
here,
I think that's about it. Redstone is not going to reach the start-finish line in time. It's going to be painfully close.
So close.
And that's it. Is down by 2 seconds. VFX, by the way, up by half a tenth in the first sector alone. And let's keep an eye out on Hushrav. And let's see what Hushrav can do. He's about to finish the lap, and in his Red Bull, he goes pole with a 27.2, smashed the timing out of the park. And I think VFX might be the only person who can probably displace him off the pole position. VFX now into the heart of the lap, once again taking a lot of that sausage curb through the second sector and avoiding all the
he
curbs.
He lifted off a lot.
And that he has invalidated there. So
yeah,
that's quite done for him.
Okay.
Is Abhishek going to pull out a surprise? Abhishek is on a lap. He joined late, and he's on a lap.
So is Baz. I mean, he's marginally up. Let's see, almost a 10. It's all about sector 2.
Abhishek's going
he is up by.
So yeah, Abhishek has invalidated.
Abhishek's okay.
Yeah, but Baz is up by 3 tenths. Abhishek's tap time is not going to matter. And what does Baz do? He's going to be the last person to cross a line.
Could displace PSI. I don't know how his sector 3 was in the first run, so let's see. But I believe after this, it's quali done. Up there.
Well, he did improve his time, to be fair, but not his position, and will line up in P6 Baz. So that was the end of the qualifying session. Hushrav and Redstone on the front row with VFX just behind Redstone. He made a mistake on his final run. So VFX and Sumer, very good friends back in season 5, lining up on the second row behind them, PSL Legends and URL Basil. And with chips and Viper speed, Api out qualifying Caesar. Wow, that's a highlight of the day. Caesar down in
Yeah.
P10, not a representative lap time for him. And then it's Rev King, easy level bot, Abhishek, Oxidize, Ethan, and TBK without a lap time. I still don't understand why half the grid did not put any lap times in. Were
I
they just
genuinely
saving
feel
tires?
so. It's two reasons. Yeah, saving tires maybe for the main race. It's now I feel it's not gonna rain, and other reason could be because it's a sprint race. You don't want to get caught up in the midfield. We know what happens usually during the initial few turns. So maybe they want to play safe, watch the chaos from the from the being at the last position and just make the most of those tumbling cars. Let's see.
Yeah, well, but when a lot of
But
people have the
I
same
hope Caesar
idea,
doesn't have that wet race glitch because his time was close to that. So
yeah, well, Piece of Legends in the comments saying it's a wet race for the main 26 lap race. So
okay.
we are in for a snooze fest of sorts if other D1 wet races are anything to go by. But yeah, just to your point, Smith, if a lot of people think the same way that they won't qualify, then all of them will start in the midfield, or at least. So then it really negates the safety which they have of starting from the back. But at least the sprint race is dry, we can see that, and the formation lap is underway. I'm assuming everyone will be on mediums. And yeah, there you go. The entire grid is on the mediums. 9 lap sprint race. And wow, this should be a lot of fun with the likes of Hushrav, Redstone, VFX,
Did
Sumer.
anyone have a quali ban or something? I don't know because
Uh,
I have seen Ethan, TBK, even Oxidize. They do put in laps during quali.
yeah,
So
it's a bit unusual. Well, if any of those drivers end up on the podium in the main race, we'll have a chat with them as to what was their rationale. But I don't think any one of these drivers had a Caliban, to be honest. But I could be wrong. Azun, by the way, is on hards. I thought the entire field was on mediums, but except Azun, Azun is on the hard tires, and I don't. He's saving a set of mediums for the main race, I assume, but I don't think it's
but
going to
why?
be competitive. Yeah, exactly why. Right. So we'll keep an eye out on him, and the likes of Quick Killer, Ethan, and TBK might be in a position to gain those places off him. I can see a huge gap behind Azun and even ahead of Azun, to be honest. So the
Yeah.
pack which is leading will have to slow down, otherwise they will be sitting on the grid with cold tires when the 5 lights go onto the grid. But Hustav is in no mood to slow down. Look at his going, he's almost going his race pace through the Stowe corner, and well, yeah, that's
Yeah, best way to warm up your tires maybe.
yeah, that is the best way to warm up your tires. But I don't know if the game physics then cools down your tires while you are on the grid. So we'll probably get to know once they are through
Sid
the.
with
Oh, who was
interesting
that?
strategy, saying that Azul could be doing soft to mediums. But Sid, PSI just said that it's gonna rain during the main race. Now I don't know when, during the start, during the end, in the middle,
I just hope it's not a
but
full wet race like we did or we had last time, because that
yeah.
won't be ideal. But either ways, I think the grid should be set just about now, as
No
I see an Alpha Tauri
one
of TBK.
has disqualified, which is quite
Yeah,
good.
very
I hope
impressive.
that is not a commentator's curse. All right, nobody actually did. That's good. All right, please take us
Right.
through.
Lights coming onto the screen now, and it's 5 lights on the grid. Its lights are out, and we're underway. It's a good start from Redstone. Hushrav was the second to blink, and VFX might have a run. No, he does not. Hushrav might just about get it. Oh, there's a drive-through penalty for Viper Speed meanwhile, and all the while
Oh,
VFX
chips!
might go.
Okay, no, that was Ref King. I'm so sorry. You please carry on.
Right, so it seems like Chips is
Chips,
fine. Oh, there's an
Chips,
Alpine! Who was that? I think that's
Chips was
Ethan.
involved. Okay. So what
What
I
happened to
said
Chips? I
initially
see.
was like basically, like oh, what is happening at the back? Everybody is
Alpha
taking
Tauri.
very wide lines.
It's an
Yeah.
Alpha Tauri beef here. TPK going side by side with his teammate, which is Oxidized Rage, and all that behind them. Quick Kill is trying to go through. TPK might just about get him. TPK is ahead of Oxidized Rage, but they're going to go side by side through that corner, which is very controversial, and TPK holds it round the outside. There's still wheel banging there. Absolutely, you
Yeah, but
can't really
that's
see
going.
their
They're going three
teammates, to
wide.
be
I don't
honest.
want. Oh, okay. Now they are finally.
They are through now, and up ahead. Caesar is on the back of PSI Legends. Can Caesar actually make it through? Can he make an overtake? He's using his battery to full effect. PSI goes defensive. Caesar has to go around the outside. He doesn't have the kind of grip he needs and has to settle for P7 right now. Further behind, there's still a lot of position changes. Azun losing positions to Viper Speed, and Viper Speed has a drive through, so Viper Speed should be coming in. I'm assuming, yes, it does, and Azun is in as well. I don't think he has damage. Maybe it's a tactical decision to get rid of the hard tires. I don't know. That's a very weird decision. But look at Redstone, less than 2 tenths behind Hushrav. Azun has retired from the session. Yeah, so that's, well, he didn't want to do anything with that sprint race. And now on board with Redstone. Well, he's not using his battery, so he doesn't really want to overtake Hushrav any time now. But he's being calculative about this Redstone, and he has been very, very patient with his moves and with his racecraft. So while Hushrav and Vfix and Caesar are like the top dogs of the division, but let's not count out Redstone just yet. And Sumer as well. There's a spinner. No, that's not a spinner. I think that's Viper Speed's car just exiting the pits, and Azun behind him, the retired car of Azun. So the top four covered by 1.5 seconds, Smith.
Yep, it's quite close, the top four right now. In fact, I believe Basil, Caesar, PSI, and the train could be catching up to them. Let's see how it all pans out, because it's a sprint
Here
race.
goes
Everyone
Sumer.
wants
Sorry to cut you off, Smith. Here goes Sumer.
Yeah,
Round
but
the
Sumer
outside
goes
of
on with fix. Yeah.
Vfix. And Sumer does pull the move off. What a move from not Sumer. Well, he's been absent since long, but he has made his presence felt and is up into podium positions now. Now, DRS is enabled, and Redstone might be in a position to. Oh, he almost loses his car going through turn 1 there, but holds it. And now, let's see what kind of pace he shows. This is going to be an interesting battle between the top two, and not Sumer has fallen out of that DRS window, but Redstone is right on the gearbox of Hushrav. He has DRS. The gap is closing, but Hushrav is using his battery, and Redstone probably does not. So he's going to stay behind for one more lap, and I think he's very comfortable where he is down in P2.
Would you, if you were Redstone, would you stay behind Hushrav,
Oh,
make him deplete?
Sumer!
Oh, Sumer spun. Oh no, Sumer. From podium to
That's
almost
down in
nowhere right now.
P11, P12, make that P13, and then 14 maybe. But right, let's. Oh, there's another spinner. There is another spinner. I don't know where. We'll have to be on
I
board
think-
with Redstone here.
No, that's still Sumer only.
I think there was an Alpine maybe.
That was Abhi or what? For 3 seconds to appreciate. But I was asking, if you were Redstone, would you stay behind Hushrav, make him deplete his battery, and then pick a move during the penultimate lap or the last lap?
Yeah, I think that's what I would do. But well, there's a reason why I'm not in Division 1. So my decision making could be suboptimal here. PSI Legends ahead of TBK. I don't. Oh, TBK! My God! Oh, and Quick Killer has been
Quick
collected
Killer.
because of that. He's retired from the session. That could be a safety car. It is a safety car.
Oh, that's a safety car. I didn't catch what happened, but all I saw was TBK really moving away from his car.
Oh my
And,
God!
Yeah. Anyways, I'll get my biryani. I'll be back.
Oh my God! So that's 2 out of 2. One is Sumer and second is TBK, and then Quick Killer, who have been the victims of the commentators' curse. And while Smith is away going to get his food, I think that's a good respite for Hushrav because Redstone was hot on his heels, and that's kind of gives Hushrav a chance to use his battery once again and also save his tires because this is going to be a battle till the end, and this also gives a chance for VFix to catch up to them because his battle with Sumer had him drop out of that 1 second window to the top two. So VFix will be back and will be vying for that maximum points in the battle with Redstone and Hushrav. Caesar, meanwhile, is also going to be in the mix along with Basil. PSI and Oxidize have time penalties. Let's just have a look at. It's been a crazy first few laps, but let's have a look at the position gain for the first 4 laps. You can see Caesar and Ethan gaining the maximum positions along with TBK, but TBK, of course, involved in an incident. So, and the people who have lost most positions are Sumer, of course. After making that brilliant move on, VFX has lost traction on one of the corners. Chipsima is in the pits, and so is TBK. I assume this is for soft tires, and they believe it's worth sacrificing the track position for a softer tire, which would have more grip, obviously. But then, I don't know if it's worth it, to be honest. This is a track where softs don't usually go that well. But let's see if the strategy choice pays off for them. So Chips is going to come out in P13 and TBK will come out in P14. I don't think the likes of Abhi or Viper Speed are going to overtake them. The safety car, I don't think will be in at the end of this lap. It will be in at the end of next lap, which is lap 6. And hence we'll have 3 laps of racing. Ethan has spun out and has lost 2 position and has just rejoined in front of Not Sumer. Dev King and Abhishek are the 2 gainers from that spin from Ethan. Just did not catch that on the stream, but yeah, that's unfortunate for Ethan. Don't know how he managed to do that on the safety car. But yes, so we'll have 3 laps of racing. That will mean that DRS will be enabled on the last lap, and that is exactly what Hushrav would have wanted. Minimum laps with DRS for Redstone to make a move, which is not going to help the Mercedes driver, but well, he has shown enough pace, and maybe he does not need DRS, who knows, to get P1 in the sprint race here tonight. The pack is pretty much bunched up except the likes of Chips and TBK and Abhi and Viper Speed, so 4 drivers still quite far behind, which means we'll have one more lap under the yellow flag conditions before we go green again. Smith, are you back? Or yeah, I don't think he's back, Smith. So yeah, let's see what happens in the last few laps of this race, and let us know in the comments section who do you think is going to finish the sprint race on the podium. Of course, there is a feature race to come after this, and look at VFX being so careful, just driving on a different line altogether to avoid any incidents, as Viper Speed has left the session and TBK is in the pits again. What? Why is TBK in the pits again for another set of softs? Okay, if he wanted the freshest set of softs, he should have just gone on hards. Why did he waste a set of softs to do an outlap there? Okay, that's weird from TBK, but yeah, well, that's his choice. And does not really gain or lose any positions by doing that, but I think it was completely unnecessary, to be honest, and he should be rejoining, and I think Abhi should have enough time to rejoin the rest of the pack as well.
Yep, even I have rejoined.
And Smith is back. Alright, so just something. So TBK pit again for another set of softs, which I don't quite understand. There was no wing change involved.
TBK does that usually. So I have seen him doing that even in the previous races where he just wants to be on fresher tires. Maybe he has...
but then he could have gone on hards in the previous outlap where he just did 1 lap and came back in. So that's...
I have no idea. Did he lose any positions?
No, he did not.
Exactly. So that is That is typical TBK for us. I have seen him doing this in the previous races. He has this, I don't know, thought process where he feels even a lap, you would say, fresher, soft tires or whatever, hard or medium, would have more pace than a lap older tire.
Yeah,
So
that's understandable, but I don't know why he went on the softs on the previous stint there. I mean, it's not really fair to call it a stint. Oxidized Rage has gone very wide, and the safety car has gone on for one more lap because Viper Speed was yet to catch up. By the way, Viper Speed has left the session, so that's his AI driving around, and we have one more lap under the safety car, which means there will be only 2 laps of racing. And this is really going to hurt Redstone here. No DRS for the rest of the sprint race, and that is really unfortunate for Redstone. He looked like he had the measure of Khusrav, and he was just holding himself back to get a proper move done for the race lead. But now I think Khusrav should have this in the bag unless he makes a mistake.
he could get him though, is what I feel. Redstone. He has shown really good pace. I believe the entirety of the season.
Yeah, he has. The only thing with Silverstone is, Redstone going very. Oh, okay, that was a little bit weird of an angle, but it seemed like he had went off track.
Underscore speed 72.
Yep.
All right, I've sent him an invite.
Okay, let's hope he can join back before we go racing again. Sumer and Ethan, what's going on there? And it seems like they've sorted it out at the moment, but yeah, it seemed like Ethan is having more troubles. He did spin out, remember, Ethan, under safety car. Viper Speed has joined, wow. So let's hope he can take control of his car as well. And the safety car should be in at the end of this lap. We'll know in a few corners once the safety car crosses the second sector split. But the safety car should be coming in, and we will go.
100%. Minimum 2 laps of racing, any which way, is the rule of FN22. So yeah,
there you go. Safety car is in.
So very close to Ethan again.
And Abhi and TBK have exchanged positions as well. So it's been a bit of a hectic. And TBK has gotten the position back now. And well. And now he's wanting Abhi to go forward, and Abhi is just going to get ahead. This is not helping anyone. But either way, I'm on board with Basil. And let's see when Khusrav in fact, let me go on board with VFX here. And let's see when Khusrav finally decides to bolt. He has not yet. He is taking a nice white line, and now he decides to bolt. Has got VFX snapping a little bit, and he has Basil for company. Basil has run wide through the penultimate corner, but I think it's been a clean.
Oxida is already losing a position there. A couple of positions there, in fact. Okay, Oxida is not that great with safety car restarts, I believe. And
TBK is retired from the session.
TBK retired with all those couple of pit stops. I believe that didn't make any difference. But Oxidize and Ethan fighting at it. And he loses 3 positions. Oxidize from the safety car restart. Ethan climbs to P8. Good restart by him, and Chips also overtakes Oxidize. Does he have damage or something? No, he doesn't. I don't know what happened there to Oxidize. But Ref King and Ethan fighting. Ethan to the left. Was that Ethan? Okay, that was Ref King. Ethan gets the position from him, but let's go on board with Redstone now, who I believe would be pushing really hard. I mean, so would be Khusrav, because after all, this is the penultimate lap. Getting really close. There is not going to be any DRS, remind you all. So let's see. It's all going to come down to raw pace. Abhi and Easy Level exchanging positions. I don't know what went wrong with Easy Level there, but really close it is right now. Even Caesar on the back of Basil. I don't know how did Caesar climb so many positions. I have missed all that. And did something happen?
Sumer and Abhi. No, it's Sumer and Rev King and Ethan. It's mayhem. I think multiple cars involved. Now that's
multiple
an
cars
open
involved and
lobby.
all that. And
And
Redstone is getting really close now. He was almost 1.5 tenths.
this
I mean,
is
it's
the
again
last
one and a
lap
half tenths.
of the
Let's see.
race. Both of them will be deploying as much as they can. Easy level bot with a 3 second time penalty, but he's down there, and I don't know if it's gonna make any difference. But on board with Redstone, he's using all the battery. He has a slipstream, but Hushraf, look at that, he's still pulling away, and he's using his battery as well, I assume. Hushraf parking it on the apex, and the top two have been once again battling it out for the race lead. Not a lot of corners to go, and Redstone needs to make this move now, or it's never going to happen for him. At least in the sprint race, of course, he will have opportunities in the main race, but now they go towards Cops, that is, and wow, this is nail biting stuff. Two
Yeah,
tenths is the
top five
gap.
under 2 seconds. So that's crazy right now. Especially the top three who are actually, in fact, under half a second. So I think Hushraf
has this in the bag. It
pulled
seems
this off.
like that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make any difference to the lead which Hushraf has. Redstone is still on his gearbox, and he might go for a late lunge. No, he does not. Thinks the better of
No, he
it.
does not.
So
The Caesar,
with
okay, even Caesar doesn't go for a late
one
lunge.
more corner to go, Hushraf has won the sprint race. What a beautiful battle! 800ths of a second. That's the gap. VFX finishes in P3, and Basil with P4, and Chips and Abhishek. What happened there? Oh, Oxidized Rage has probably lost out. I think that was because of a time penalty. And yeah, PSL Legends P6, P7 is for Chips. With Abhishek joining mid quali for P8. Viper Speed did make good after rejoining halfway through the safety car, or towards the end of the safety cars period. In P9, I think Oxidized Rage finished 10 with Abhi in P11, and then Ethan in P12. But what a race! What a sprint race, to be precise, because we have the 26 lap main race where weather might be a factor. But that was very clean racing from the top two, and Hushraf, I think, would be thanking his stars that there was no DRS for most part of that 9 lap sprint.
Yep. Absolutely not. But in all that, how many positions did Chips make in those last 2 laps? I believe at least 6 to 8, if I'm not wrong.
I think him and Viper Speed made up a lot of positions, because Viper Speed was down in P16.
Yeah, he was last P16, yeah.
Yeah, then he's up in P9. So, well, he didn't have a time penalties either, so that helped. But that chaos between Abhi and Ethan and Sumer definitely helped. And then Easy Level Bot got a time penalty, and Rev King had an incident. TBK retired just after the safety car restart. It was absolute chaos, as Srikanth describes in the comment section for the last 2 laps of the race.
Yeah, well, he's I want to say, but some fans of some team.
Well, he has mentioned the team as well in his in the comment section, but I think he's someone who likes chaos as well.
Oh, that's
to be honest,
full,
yeah,
I mean,
that's a full
like
vets.
chaos, but
That's full
in
vets.
a different way. But yeah, I see full vets right now. So yeah.
Right. So deja vu, Smith, from what I see on the screen right now, and I really hope that the weather does ease up. Otherwise, we should actually restart the lobby. To be honest, I really don't want to commentate on a full wet race where people are just trudging along on those wet tires. Well, trudging along might not be the appropriate word, because it's D1 drivers and they are very quick. But
I mean, absolutely. What do you think? Is it going to be drying up towards the end? Because
I hope
people
so.
were kind of saving the tires. I don't know why.
Yeah, I hope so. It's going to dry up towards the end, and I hope there's a good transition from wets to winters and then to dries. That would make for very interesting viewing. But I am willing to bet my house, even though I don't own a house in my name, that's going to be full wet tires right now for everyone on the field. And there you go, 18 people. Oh, Hushro, I hope that was. I hope that was deliberate to get some heat up into those wet tires, but yeah, Hushro just losing it, and I think that was me last night. I was just not able to keep it on the track, and I think there is an
I saw some
Viper speed.
William.
Yeah,
Was
it
it
was
Viper
Viper
Speed?
Speed
I
who
think,
completely lost
and
it.
look at the chaos out there. Wow, this is the chaos I like.
And Abhishek has lost it as well. The Red Bull. Oh my God, this is not going to be for the faint-hearted. The first
Which
few
team?
laps of the race, Abhishek, Abhishek has been disqualified.
Which
And
team?
yeah, well, TBK is going to do a 360. So he has just put it in the comment section that he is going to do a 360 and he wants us to spectate him. So let's see what the Alpha Tauri. But he's bringing shame to the good name of Alpha Tauri, to be honest, TBK. So, and there you go. Quick Killer just
Yeah, there
behind
you go.
him
But
would have given Quick Killer a heart attack, to be honest.
I mean, he
But
kind of did. Quick Kill could report him for all those shenanigans. I mean,
yeah,
I
he
would.
would. Yeah. So
And
TBK
he's
just.
taking off some boards out there.
Okay, that's
TBK,
not nice.
come
That's
on. That's nah, yeah, that's not nice.
that's not cool. Either way, so Abhishek is the only lonely person on the grid right now, waiting for everyone to join back. Hushrav and Redstone are racing as if it's the first lap of the race. Hushrav has spun again, and I think this time it's definitely deliberate. I don't think he's the kind of a driver who would lose it twice in the
Was he
formation lap.
running a low
And
downforce setup? Because I did see Redstone in the slipstream using his battery and still losing time to him. So,
can you
is he
use your
running a low
battery in the
downforce?
formation lap?
No, no, no. I mean, in the sprint race,
Oh, in the sprint race,
when
okay.
they were on the main straight and the back straight, both the
Yeah,
times.
Hushrav was pulling away, so he does definitely has the setup is favoring top speed rather than cornering, and Hushrav is now back on to the top spot, or rather, his preferred grid slot on the track. Chipsima has been disqualified, so has been Ethan, and I assume there will be a few more disqualifications by the time we line up.
Yep.
You can see a two stop
I'm
here,
gonna
but a
stay
one stop
on
is
board
possible.
with PSI or Chips or someone in the midfield, and
Right.
you'd be, of course, on board with the guys ahead. So,
Yep.
but yeah,
Let's
do
see.
take us
The
through
engines
once
are
it's stopped.
revving. TBK has been disqualified, and the lights are not
Tell me
coming
something new.
on to the screen. There's a weird transition there. Viper Speed has left, and now we are going to go racing in just a few seconds. 5 lights on the grid. Quicker as a drive through, and its lights out of the end of it. It's a good start from Basil. VFX terrible start, and behind him, Caesar has had a
Oh,
good start.
yeah,
Redstone.
what a start by Caesar.
Yeah, good start from Caesar. He did have one in a good start in Singapore as well. There's a car going off the track. That's Basil, I think, completely off the track. And this is not going to be good for him. I think Redstone having a good start behind them is absolute chaos. There's an Alpine and a Williams going side by side. That's Basil and
Yeah,
PSI. There's
PSI.
contact.
Correct.
And I think they've just come out unscathed there. Oxida is losing a position to Ethan. And oh my god, Redstone Dub is a man on a mission. Quick Killer
Oh,
has retired from that
Quicker.
session. That could be a safety car, you know.
Has he survived lap one in
No,
any
he
of the races?
hasn't.
Quicker.
It's a virtual safety car
Had a
right
bad
now.
spell.
And it's still a virtual safety car, so that would help the drivers calm down a little bit after that hectic start and a lot of position changes. And what a start from Caesar once again, 2 races in a row. He has had good starts. Abhishek, what is happening with him? He lost a couple of positions there, and now he's ahead of TBK, so I think he's fine now. The track is green again, and we go racing one more time. RevKing and Easy Level Bot have exchanged positions, so Easy Level Bot is at the bottom of the grid, and look at the kind of purchase Redstone has. Redstone on Hushrav. He might make a move, you know, Smith. Hushrav is,
Yep.
oh, he just backs out of
Definitely,
it.
he could. He
Why?
needs to break earlier than him and go for the switcheroo over there. But I guess maybe he's gonna stick around now for some time.
Well, he stopped using his battery halfway through the straight. And I don't know why that is. Azun is going to overtake, or rather has overtaken Viper Speed. So Azun is up into P13. But this battle for the lead is just not something to be missed, as Redstone is on the back of Hushra once again. And my god, what a driver. He's able to stick with him in these conditions, and he's going to go round the
Abhishek's going
outside.
really wide. Oh, too many things happening right now. I'm so sorry.
That's fine. I'm still on board with Hustav losing more traction coming out of the corner. Redstone, for fuck's sake, use your battery, and there he goes. Redstone round the outside. Nobody does have to stick behind in the slipstream. And I think everyone in the comments. Oh, there's more position. Sumay has retired. He's crashed out, and that could be a safety car, and that is a safety car, Smith.
Too early in the race, but let's look at who is biggest gainer and loser out of this. So TVK climbing 7 positions, and so does Azun. So that's a really good start by these two guys. Whereas I believe Oxidize is one of the biggest losers over here.
Oxidize has lost 6 positions, and then Abhi has lost 3. And well, Sumer and Quick Killer, they were teammates in season 5. Both of them have crashed out, I think, in similar part of the track. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Vyom in the comments.
Abhi hasn't lost. He has given those positions, like he does giveaways.
That does sound like Abhi, to be honest. Vyom in the comments saying Red Bull full send. And the Vyom, I would just like to remind you, the last time you said that in Singapore did not really end well for Red Bull.
Yeah.
So, well,
I mean, they did full send on each other.
But yeah, I think it's my job to do the panauti and not yours. But yeah, so the safety car is just waiting for the...
Okay.
Inters? No way that's Inters.
So I do see puddles.
So why is he pitting then? He's going for full wets. Yeah, oh, I understand why. He wants to do the full race on this. Yeah, full race on this wets.
But he any which ways could have.
Yeah, could have, but it was still touch and go, right, last night. And you need more safety cars to ensure the tires do last the entire 26 laps. So maybe this is just playing safe.
It wasn't touch and go. Honestly speaking, it wasn't. I was still, I think, 56-58% tire wear at the end.
But we had, what, 3 safety cars?
It's going to be the same. It's D1, it's no less than D2. In fact, they have had
I do like your confidence that way.
Statistically.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. But yes, so Caesar up into P3, and that would not help P6 at all. Caesar has this habit of getting good starts. He's once again shown that, and has put himself in the fight for the lead if anything happens to top 2. And in fact, even if something does not happen to top 2, he does have the pace to fight for those wins now. He has picked up his pace after a horrible F1 2021 game he had. So let's keep an eye out on that, and let's not count out Chips as well, who did win a race last season. So obviously the fan favorite and the legendary Division 2 commentator Chips would all love if he gets a podium or even a race win out of this.
Yep. Very consistent driver, I would say, Chips.
Consistent and clean. That's very important to
very clean.
That's a characteristic which a lot of people don't have. A lot of quick drivers are not necessarily clean or respectful on the track. Azun is the last driver, by the way, who will catch up. So the safety car should be coming into the pits at the end of lap 4.
Yeah.
As Suraj in the comment section, Israel bought in the pits, by the way. And Suraj, you really don't have any shame, do you? You mentioned January is the month when you will come back to racing, and it's mid-February now.
He has been busy with shifting, I guess. I did see his story recently.
Yeah, please don't encourage this behavior, Smith. It's fine. He can take out some time from his busy shifting.
He took out some time from his busy work schedule and put it into shifting. So
especially after hyping his comeback so much that he'll come back a faster, a menacing driver. But well, we're yet to see that, and I hope Jeddah. Okay, he's saying Jeddah. Well, I can bet he's not gonna come back in Jeddah. But I hope I'm proven wrong. Right, so Israel bought. I'm assuming he's on the wets. Yes, he is. I don't know if he really had a wing change or not. But yeah, I think the safety car should be in at this lap. I don't think there are any
I mean, his
penalties.
tires are new, so maybe he made a pit stop, realizing that he would take it to the end as well, if it's gonna stay wet throughout. That is.
It
But
seems
let's see.
like that is
Okay,
the
one of the
oxidize.
AlphaTauri or
Yeah,
Mini something had a spin. Um,
that's
Oxidize, he
oxidize.
had a really good race yesterday, and him doing this right now,
And you feel bad for oxidize as well, considering how the race ended for
I
him.
did feel very bad.
It was
I
such a
was
clean battle
in
between the
party
two of
chat
you.
with him. Yeah. Oh yeah, you were there as well. And I,
Yeah.
in fact, was telling him all the time, I'm actually enjoying, racing with you. So another very clean driver, I must say, Oxidize.
Why is it that TBK is involved in every safety car position swap ever? Why? Look
Well,
at what he's done to the rest of the pack. They'll have to just floor it
yeah. Now
to.
he's gonna again, slow down and might create a bit of a problem behind.
Right,
Let's
so Hushrav
see.
is ready and he is going to go for a safety car restart. This time VFX is hot on his, on not his heels, but
Oh, he is.
oh, this is
He
going to be a good
is.
restart.
Oh,
Oh,
he
and
did
VFX
lose
loses the
a bit of his
position.
traction.
Yeah, and Basil
Yeah.
goes
That
through.
is. So does Chips. Chips climbing into P4, Basil into P5. So a bit of a mistake by Vifix over there.
Oh, Chips and Basil going side by side through there, and it's in fact Basil who has come out on top. But look at Caesar; he might be over. Oh
Oh,
man,
Caesar.
Chips. Oh,
Chips
Caesar,
and
what
all that.
happened to him?
Oh, Chips
And
was
Caesar
caught
has
up in
lost
all
so many
that. Caesar had a
positions.
bit of a moment, and I believe Chips was caught up in all that because
No, Chips
Basil
has
would have
lost
made some moves.
traction.
Oh, well, that puts Vifix back into P4, Basil into P3, so very interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
and Redstone has some catching up to do. He's not as close as he
TBK
was.
just
And
overtook
TBK has
Caesar.
overtook
What happened to
Caesar
Caesar?
and
Does he have
Abhishek.
wing damage? I don't see any wing damage. But okay, that was a bit of a chaos there. Let's go on board again with the Basil. So very close to Redstone, breathing his fumes, and he might stick the move now. He had the fastest sector 2 as per what the lap data shows, the circuit map. But I believe he is gonna stick to P3 for some time right now or not. Okay, that was a very smart move by Baz over there. Does he send down the inside? No, he doesn't. All right then. But Abhishek is very close to PSI and he sticks the move. PSI and
Oh!
TBK had some moment. All right, is that
What is going
what?
on? It's a virtual safety car for some reason.
Yeah,
It's a
why?
yellow flag all across the track. No idea for what.
Okay.
Vipers oxidizes in the pits. And wow. Well, I said it will be a snooze fest. But this is anything but a snooze fest, this race so far. And if we keep having
Yeah.
these interruptions from race control, then the pack will be bunched up almost through the entirety of the race, and we'll have more drama and more action and more collisions and more cars going off the track, just like Chipsima, who was in P3 for a while, or in fact P4 maybe. He was down in P13 right now. The track is green, and now Redstone has finally been able to claw back that time, but he has Basil breathing down his neck, as you said, Chips, and Redstone has to be very, very careful on the throttle there, losing some time to Hushrav, but at the same time keeping Basil behind. Basil is a man on a mission right now.
Yeah, but you called me Chips, so.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's just someone whom I
Redstone
want to
going really
commentate.
wide
Yeah,
there.
Redstone going
Might
wide.
lose some time there.
Might have in fact got a warning
Yep.
because of that. And Viper Speed is back in the lobby. Redstone is not having the best of the runs for Magazine Chapels, and that is Basil's
really good at
invitation.
Nuggets and Packets and could, of course, should, stick the move. Oh,
He
look at
sticks
that.
behind for now. He's
Wow.
taking the
What a straight
slipstream.
line speed by Redstone there.
That's a very good setup, in fact. But Basil still trying to go side by side with him. They are still side by side on board with VFix right now to see what the top the rather P2 and P3 are doing, and I think Basil has made the move stick on Redstone.
What a battle!
And
What a battle!
yeah, that reminded me of you and Oxidize going at it last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, Redstone down into P3, and now VFX will also be on the hunt. But let's see if Basil can challenge Hushro for the lead, just like Oxidize did in the sprint race at least.
I'm really
Oh, there's a
liking the kind
spinner.
of setup. Oh, that is, I believe,
That's
Oxidize.
Oxidize.
And that's a VSC again.
Ah, now this is broken. Why would there
Why?
be a
Let these
VFC?
people drive. What is wrong with FIA this game?
Does he have any damage? It's
No, I don't
coming.
think so.
Yeah, it's coming back in the pits. He has lost
okay.
his front wing entirely. I hope he doesn't get a 5 second. No, he does not. Yeah, I think that's why there was a VSC debris on track. And
That is not a full safety car for that, so that's good, I believe.
yeah, that's good. And I hope that it's green flag running pretty soon. Come on, FIA. The front wing can just glitch and disappear. You don't really need a Marshalli to get on the track and remove it as Basil gets pretty close
No,
to
bro, they
Hushlav.
actually walk onto the track and remove it. You don't know.
Well, the track
It's FN22, very
should
realistic
be
game.
green. It's not green, and it's really frustrating.
What are you saying? There's debris on track.
And yeah,
See, they
there
just
we
picked
go.
it up.
Green
Yeah, there we go.
and Basil. Can he overtake Hushrav like he did with Redstone? And it's pretty close to Hushrav, and Basil seems to be thriving in these wet conditions. Is well, I just say that, and he goes
And that's
wide.
bhai, too kuch mat bolo.
I think I'll just let you do the talking and just switch between cars. I think that's how I can keep the Travis Panotti free. But look at Basil, he might go for a move. Well, he's trying one round the outside of
okay,
Hushrav.
now he's down the. Oh, they make a slight contact. No. All right, that seems okay.
And
but
he's still going to
Basil,
go
I
for a
believe,
move.
has.
Basil
he
in the
does, he
lead of
does.
the race.
Hey,
What a move from Basil.
But he
Hushrav
cut
is,
an entire corner to do that.
and Hushrav is
Okay.
going to go down the inside. This is not going to end well if neither tribal gives way. Hushrav does take the lead back.
No,
This
I believe
is.
Basil had to give back the position because he
Oh,
cut
it
the
might have been an
entire
overtake.
corner.
It might have been an illegal overtake. Meanwhile, VFX down the inside of Redstone, who has been rattled after that overtake, and VFX and Redstone are going to be on. Oh, I thought it was going to be a drag race, but VFX has to settle in behind for P4 for now.
Redstone really not liking that section, that Cop's turn especially, and Megatron because he really loses a lot of time.
Oh, and
and
it's a
look
3
at that.
second.
Yeah, that's 3 seconds to him right there. So
Well, he got a 3 second in, was it Singapore? Was it Austria? Which is why he lost the podium. I think it was Austria. And well, once again, a 3 second over here will not help his race any one bit. Basil on the back of Hushrav. The gap is. Oh, there's a spinner once again. I think that's Viper
I
speed.
believe it's Viper speed.
Oh, Redstone in the
Please do,
pits. Redstone in the pits.
Did he have a wing damage? Okay.
Fastest lap from Hushrav, but Baz is on his tail once again, and because Redstone has pitted, it has given VFX kind of a license to go after the top two. If he can catch them, of course, and he will if they keep battling like this. Is Basil going to send it down the inside? No, he does not. Sticks behind for now and might want to get Hushrav off the traction. There's lightning in the sky. Oh, Baz! No, almost bended Baz.
Almost lost it.
And survives
So
for
he-
one more lap.
Still sticks to full wets, so it's not an inter condition. So basically, he did go for an actual pit stop. Okay.
Azun and Rev King battling it out, and Azun is trying to overtake Rev King here, but has not really been able to make his way past the Alfa Romeo and has to stick behind. There's a yellow flag.
Oh,
PSI
PSI.
Legends has retired from
You
the
wanna say
session, and that's a safety car.
Do you want to say what PSI says?
Nah, I think
Nah.
it's better it's left to him. But the safety car, and if it is going to be a full wet race, do you think anyone is going to pit and ensure they definitely go to the end? Why for speed drive through? No. I don't know
Easy
how
11
people
can
get drive
actually
throughs.
pit right
Like, that's
now
the most
and still.
noob penalty you get. How do you
Wait,
get
who
drive
got drive
throughs?
through?
Viper speed.
Viper Speed. Does he
So,
follow
Hushram
you?
in the pits, I think. Yes, Hushram in the pits, Vfx in the pits, everyone and their mother in the pits. Basil stays out. Okay, so he's
Basil
going to the
doing, I
end.
believe, what? Yeah.
Yeah, you. Viper Speed gets another try through. My God, he's
Another
just
drive
imit.
through. I think he plans to retire right now because he's
Yeah,
having a lot of disconnections. I guess he's.
but imagine
I guess
getting
he's
two
done.
drive throughs. I wonder who else can do that. Abhishek is also not pitted, and so hasn't TBK. Wipe. Oh my God. Okay, Vipers will get disqualified. It's got three drive throughs now. Who's on the
I guess he doesn't care
inters?
right now.
Okay, this is new. Hushram on the intermediate tires, Vfix on the wets, and everyone else on the wets, but Hushram on the inters. Is that
Okay.
a strategy call or is that a mess up by the Red Bull team?
I believe that's a bit of a
Well,
mess
chips
up
on the
right now
inters as
because look at the
well.
chips. Why would you do
So the
that?
rain,
I do see puddles.
I think it's a bit early for inters, but then
Yeah.
if you can brave it out for a few more laps and if the rain is going to ease up, maybe it's the right call. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I wish we had a Ted to whom we can ask what's the weather report is going to be like. Hushrav seems to be struggling on those intermediates as you expect him to, and
Yeah.
this safety car, of course, will bring the field together. And while Viper Speed is in the pits, what is he doing? Is he what? Why is he car stationary? What? His car is just stationary. The pit crew is not working on it. And
Who's
Viper
for
Speed
Viper
is in
Speed?
the pits.
Um,
And he's retired from the
retired.
session,
Okay, okay. I
right?
believe it's.
So
Oh
he
wait,
has
his
had
car is
enough.
suddenly out on track. What?
Yeah, it just glitched out on the track.
I think yeah. But let me go on board with Chips. Is he struggling? Is he losing? Gaining? I mean, it's safety car. He should be definitely gaining. But
So if you go on board with one of the drivers, do you think it's intermediates? I think it's too early for
it's
intermediates.
a bit too early for inters.
Oh,
I
Hushrav and Easy
still
well bought.
see
Hushrav in
puddles.
the pits.
Push him in the
I
pits.
think it's
Yeah,
too wet
yeah.
for him. Again, that's what she said. But I think he's gonna go for wet tires.
This is why, Malak. Now you know why.
Oh, he's going on another set of inters, is it? Yeah, he's going on another set of
I
intermediate tires. What is happening? What is the strategy? I don't understand. Chips is in the pits as well.
That's not a strategy. That's something else.
Is that a mess up?
Wait, what?
Azun on the
also pit on
inters.
inters?
But then why is Chips pitting? Is he going on
And
wets?
Chips on
He's going
wets?
on wets. Oh my God. This is most bizarre. This is very bizarre. And I still don't understand. No, Srikant, I don't think it's for fresher tires. Look at the amount of track position he has lost because of that.
Yeah, he would be P8 or P9 right
He was
now. if I'm
he was
not wrong.
P5, Hushrav,
Oh, Hushrav.
and yeah,
Oh, okay,
and
okay.
and now he's P11. I don't think it's worth losing 5 positions for one lap fresher intermediate tires. I don't think
Yeah, definitely not.
that was a part of the plan. My theory is that he wanted to go on the wets, but
Then what did Azun do? Just
yeah,
for the trolls.
Azun का मुझे I mean I don't know about Azun. Vyom has an interesting take on this. It's probably to keep the safety car out longer
Out longer to drive.
so that the intermediate conditions come faster and he can get an advantage that way. But either ways, I think we anyways have one more lap unless the safety car comes in at the end of this lap, which I don't think it's going to. So Chips and
Yeah.
Oxidize. Oh, Oxidize is a long way back. Never mind. It's definitely going to the
Yeah.
end of the
Chips can
next lap.
again pit, and
But
I think
it was a
still
conscious
come
call from
ahead.
Chips to pit on the wets. So I think in
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one
it
lap
was.
on intermediates, he would have realized that the track is not ready for the green tires right now. So I don't think it's gonna come in. Oh, Easy will bot
Yeah,
and VFix. What's happening? Oh, Easy will bot. VFix in the pits. He's going on the
interesting.
intermediate tires as well.
I
And Abhi is
guess
in the
it
pits.
would be going on to Inters gradually, but I still feel it's a bit too early. I
Yeah,
still
but I
feel it's a bit
understand
too
why,
early.
because it's the longest pit lane of the calendar, if I'm not wrong. So you lose a lot of time going on to the intermediate tires, which is why it's probably they want to
Abhi in
brave
the
it
pits,
out.
Abhi on the Inters as well.
Yeah, beyond on the
Okay.
inters. So probably they want to brave it out on those intermediate tires for a lap or two, and then maybe
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
intermediate
quickly check
conditions.
the situation and come back.
Right. So the safety car should be in at the end of this lap. Everyone has rather caught up. VFix and Abhi will as well. So lap 12 of 26, we still have halfway to go in this race, and it is going to be a very very long race, especially if the wet conditions prevail. But for the sake of racing, for the sake of entertainment, I do hope that it does dry out towards the end and we see some slick tires on these fast Formula One cars, and they go side by side through most of the corners and battle it out for the top positions in this Division 1 race in the Indian Racing League. We should be getting underway pretty soon, and we should get the message on the top of our screens pretty soon from the race control that the safety car is
So
coming in at the end of
I
this lap.
am back. I hope I'm audible.
Yes,
I should be audible.
yes,
But
you are audible.
so the hot news I have that currently Inters and Vets have similar pace. So gradually it is going to dry out towards the end.
That is interesting news, as our own Ted Kravitz with the weather updates. And but you should be paid double at this rate if you're doing two jobs. But unfortunately, double of zero is zero. The safety car is going to be in at the end of this lap, and Basil needs to slow down a little bit so that he gives enough time for the safety car to peel into the pits. But he does not seem to be in a mood to do so. Abhishek is on his tail, and so is TBK. In fact, I'll be on board with TBK to see what the top two do. The
Yep.
safety car
I'm
is
going to
finally
onboard with
in the
Hushrav
pits.
since he's the first driver on Inters.
Yeah,
I want
Hushrav
to
is the
see
first.
what the way he pulls off. Let's see.
Yeah, and Basil, I think, has finally taken the brakes off, and he has bolted. Abhishek's 1 second gap, not a good restart for the Red Bull driver. And behind him, TBK and Rev King might be in a battle of their own. Easy Level Bot has lost positions, and Easy Level Bot needs to be careful there. But it's Rev King down the inside of TBK who might be battling Abhishek's. And further behind is Hushrav picking up a place. Yes, he has.
Oh,
On
chips
chips.
round the outside on Azun. Oh, he made the move stick, so that was quite good. I believe Inter's drivers are still struggling a bit
Yeah,
right
Azun
now.
lost a position to Oxidize as well right now.
Yeah,
So Azun
yeah.
losing two positions off the start, and let's see what Redstone can do. Can he pull a move round the outside of Caesar? It's very difficult to do that, but Redstone, what a move! Round the outside
Oh,
of village
round the
section. It's
outside.
still not done. Caesar still has the inside line for the next one, and Caesar does stay
Yeah, and
ahead.
easy level might
Uh,
help. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Right, Basel 2 second lead. He is thriving, as I said, in these conditions, and despite the possible touch, oh, look at Caesar is all out of sorts in maggots and brackets. He's the lead Aston Martin, and Easy Level Bot might have an overtake here. I think, yeah, there you go. Caesar probably is not going to fight him, and Easy Level Bot round the down the inside. Oh, so what happened to
Oh, easy level.
no?
Oh,
What happened
okay.
to Caesar? He just let what?
What? No, easy level just moved to the
Oh,
left completely. He let
okay.
Caesar
I
and
had them the other way
Redstone.
around. Yeah, my bad. I had the other way. I thought it was Easy Level Bot who was in the lead, but right. So Caesar does stay ahead. Isilver gets a 3 time penalty, and Redstone is on the back of Caesar once again. Let's see if he's close enough to make a move. Not in this corner, but the next few corners will. Oh, look at that. He's getting so close, Redstone, to the gearbox of the Aston Martin. And can he this time make a move? Up ahead, Ethan is on the back of Rev King.
Yep.
And
Would
Ethan
he dive?
is
Would he?
very close,
Okay,
Ethan.
yeah,
I think there
he is
was
quite
contact,
close.
maybe. I think there was contact
Between Ref King
between
I don't think
Ethan and
so.
Rev King. At least
No.
it looked like that from the angle which I was spectating. But they both live to fight another day. Redstone and Caesar round 2. Oh! Redstone!
Rev
Oh, it was
King.
Rev King! And please, no safety car. Please, I beg
That's
of
a
you.
safety
Oh
car.
my God,
Of course, that would be a safety car.
I'm tired of watching safety cars. But I think now would be the time to pit for Inters, maybe?
Maybe. Let's see what Baz does.
Bash in the lead of the race, and every time he pulls out that kind of a lead, he is pretty quick right now in these conditions. And this would have played well in the hands of Hushrav and VFX because it's such a long pit lane. Even if the top drivers pit, Hushrav is still going to be in the lead of the race if everyone ahead of him pits because the gap is not that much. What is
I
Baz
still
going
see
to do?
puddles. I still see puddles.
Yeah, I
don't
think Abhishek is in
Yeah,
the
he
pits.
doesn't.
No, Abhishek!
Oh, no,
Abhishek! What? Oh my God, Abhishek! He was trying to dummy the drivers behind him, and that is the Red Bull master plan Vyom was talking about. He's lost so many positions, P2 to P12.
I think
Ah.
does. I mean, Panotada.
Yeah,
Red
that's
Bull.
a panotada
Yeah.
and a half. It's still very wet, and I still think if it was green flag conditions, wet tires are.
Alright, TBK on enters. Hushrav on wets.
Okay, this is going to be topsy-turvy race.
I think he
Hushrav back
has
on
made
wets.
4 pit stops. Let me just quickly check. 3 pit stops.
Let's have a look at the
Enters-
stops.
Enters and then wets, if I'm not wrong. He pit on enter twice. I don't know for what, but he did that.
Yeah, he did pit on inters. There was one outlap he did on the intermediate tires and then came back for another
Yeah.
set of inters.
Yeah, he was like, enters feel good, I should pit on enters.
Right, so that's the number of stops everyone has made in this race so far. Hushrav and Azun with 3 stops each, and then a lot of 2-stoppers and a lot of 1-stoppers. But only 2 drivers who are still in the running have not made any stops. One is Bachel, who's leading the race. One is Abhishek, who could have been right behind him, but yeah, well, he's down in
But
P12
Vyom.
right now. Yeah, but because of Vyom, he's down in P10 right now. So we have a good mix of intermediate and wet weather tire runners. Out of 13, we have 4 on intermediates and 9 on wet tires. And Hushrav has, well, you'd think he would make up his mind to. I won't be surprised if he goes on a set of softs now. Just to.
Because look at Chips right now. He's climbed onto P6. He also did something very similar to what Hushrav did. And they both had basically lost equal number of places, and now Chips is back onto P6. And Abhishek's dive into the pits. Did he have damage? No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think he has damage, but well, he tried to dummy other cars, and now he's actually in the pits. It'll be interesting
Maybe
to
he
see which
wasn't
tires.
planning to dummy. Maybe he was planning to go into the pits. He maybe oversteered and then tried correcting.
So he's on the wet weather tires. Abhi and TBK. TBK is on inters. Abhi is going on wets. And wow,
interesting.
this is interesting. So one intermediate tire runner eliminated. Well, not the driver, but at least a set of tires.
What
And,
I
yeah.
feel is now that they are trusting the other better half of Jeff, whoever that guy is, a lot right now. Matt? What's his name? I don't know.
I think Mark or Matt or something.
Mark. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. So I believe they are trusting him a lot. That it's drying up. Inters probably could be the best tires or whatever, blah blah shit.
I'm
And
on
not
board with
actually,
TBK right now,
yeah.
and I still think it's too wet for intermediates. What is he doing, TBK?
Oh, a
How
B.
do you do that every safety car? How? How does he? What is he doing? Why always him is my question, and that could be the title of the stream. But yeah, on board with Abhi. Chalo, let's go on board with Abhi right now. And yeah, I think wet tires is the right choice. The rain shows no signs of easing up, and Jin, we really need you on the racetrack so that you don't make these kind of jokes. It's not, no,
I hope the
not up to
safety
your
car is in
standards.
this lap.
The safety car hopefully is in this lap, please.
No,
FIA.
bhai. Come on. Please catch up so that safety car is in this lap. Come on, come on. Please catch up, please catch up, please catch up, please catch up the safety
TVK
car.
might just go slow
There,
just to ensure he doesn't catch
there
up. And
has been certain times where safety car.
oh,
Yes! Yes. Yes. There we go.
right, on board with Caesar, and I really hope there's no Panotti on him. But Basil and Ethan, the URL boys, are the top two drivers, and I think they're on the right tire, as is Ethan and Redstone, as is Caesar and Redstone behind them. Caesar going quite slow, and Redstone might get him again. Oh, it just didn't get him there. But the race has begun once again, and well, let's see
Yeah,
what kind
I'm going to
of
stay on
challenge.
board with Azun to see. Oh, he did have a bit of a snap. I still don't think Inters is the right choice.
Yeah, it's too wet for intermediate
Yeah,
tires.
he could lose a couple of positions. Hushraf could, send it down on Vifix, and I believe he does. Vifix losing position out there to Hushraf, and Hushraf is on a mission now because he's finally on the. Oh no 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 no! Vifix loses it. Vifix loses it,
And
so does
Hushraf,
Abhishek.
Abhishek is no front wing
I
for
believe, was
Abhishek.
caught up in all that. Yes.
How did we figure? I was on board with. I was spectating Redstone and Caesar there because they were battling it for P3. What happened? Hushraf gets
That was-
past Azun.
Too ahead on a straight, so I believe
Oh,
something
Hushraf
would have
loses it.
happened.
Hushraf loses it and he's lost his wing as well. That's a Red Bull master plan of Vyom. Please, Vyom, please. Both Red Bulls without a front wing. It's going to be a double stack. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But I believe still it's going to be fine because look at the gap right now between them. And how is that not a VSC or anything? Oh, because it happened under two sectors. Okay. This is how the game works. But again, let's go on board with Redstone now, who is keeping it very close to Caesar. By the way,
Alright.
Azun, TBK, if you're listening, it's time to pit on full wets. And yeah, on board with Redstone now, who has been actually keeping very close to Caesar. No doubt Caesar has been defending quite well. And Oxidize on the back of Chips. Chips making that pit stop error, but has now corrected it and is on full wets.
Here goes Redstone. He's using his battery, but Caesar might be as well. And Redstone still does not have a way through. So once again, walk us through what happened with VFix. Did he lose his car on his own, or did he have a collision with another driver?
So I was on board with Hushrav, and I was, with my right analog stick, I was looking behind since he made an overtake. And then I was just having a look at Abhishek's, if anyone else is gonna get overtaken or something. And suddenly I just saw Vifix going all the way onto the barriers. So I believe maybe Abhishek and Vifix were involved. I believe he should join with us on the chat pretty soon.
Here goes
he will be able
Redstone,
to-
by the way. He's got a brilliant run through that. Oh, and there's a lead change as well happening as Ethan has taken the lead.
Ethan has
of
taken the lead and all
race
that.
from
Okay,
Hanger
Basil
Straight.
does make a bit of contact with Ethan. Ethan with an amazing run. Okay. and easy level losing it a bit and might get overtaken by Oxidize. He does.
Yeah, Chips and Easy Level were side by side, and yeah, well, Chips is through, and so is Oxidize, and Azun is still behind them. Azun on those intermediate tires. I don't think they're
Oh,
clicking
look at
just
that
yet.
Redstone.
Redstone on
Redstone
the
does
back
send
of.
it down the inside. Oh, he does make the move stick. That is a good move by Redstone. He had to do it because he definitely was looking quick. Then Caesar seems to have a good straight line speed, but that's about it.
Yeah,
Now let's
VFX,
see if
let
he
us know in
catches
the
up to
comments
Baz.
what happened. VFX is in the
If you're
comment
listening.
section. Yeah, he is listening. He's just put a comment on the stream.
Yeah.
Let us know your version of events, VFX. We didn't really catch that on the stream. What led to your DNF, and let's see if Redstone can now challenge the URL boys who have been battling each other, but now they have to be
Yeah.
careful of Redstone behind.
I mean, even if he, makes the, let's say, even if he makes a move done on Baz and Ethan, he needs to, I think, put a gap of at least 3 seconds to them. So,
Look at that Redstone,
oh,
so close!
Redstone,
What a
so close!
move!
What a move! I mean,
And what a
people do that on a
run!
dry setup. I mean, sorry, on a dry track. He
Uh,
pulled off a very similar move. What a run! What a run
and
there!
look at
Oh,
that Ethan!
Ethan!
And Redstone might just
Oh,
get him. He
Redstone
has.
might get him,
Oh, this is not
but
going to end well. This is not going to end well.
oh,
Basil outbreaking himself, and Redstone will have to hold it round the outside, and is just
which he
gotten in the lead
does.
of the race.
What a move! What a move! I mean, props to Ethan for giving him a fair fight there, a tough battle. But now Redstone would be, looking forward to no safety cars, and
Yep.
also, uh, maybe probably, almost loses it there. But I think he has a 3 second penalty, so
With the kind
might
of
want to
pace he has
increase the gap.
shown, to be honest, he can probably get that 5 tenths a lap gap. Easy level bot, another time penalty. Azun on the easy level bot, and I think Azun might just make it through. He'll have to go round the outside on the next section of the track. And easy level bot trying to defend all he can.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
there's.
pretty close. That was pretty
I
close
think they
between
were
them.
banking tires a little bit, but Azun is finally through. And those intermediate tires, are they
Uh,
working? No, I don't think. So I think that's just easy bot not having a great race. Look at the gap up
yeah.
front for Redstone, almost 1 second after he made the overtake.
Yep. I mean, he is on fresher tires compared to Baz. Baz, I remember initially was,
Yeah, he has made a
very quick.
no-stop work so far, and
Yeah,
Baz is
yeah.
now under attack from Caesar. Caesar is going to pull out, and round the outside goes Caesar. Is he going to make the mistake? Can he hold it round the
They
outside?
come really close. I think Baz might go for a dive, but Caesar gives him only enough space to do that, and yep, Baz does that.
Baz still has it. It's lap 21 of 26 has started, and look at the pace. Redstone has 1.7 seconds in the lead.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, he has only one thing in mind, which is a 3 second gap, and that's about it. I'm gonna quickly check how many warnings does he have now.
I hope none, as the gap grows to 2 seconds. And Caesar, while he was
Yep, none.
pretty close to overtaking Basil at that point in time, the previous lap, but this time he has a considerable gap, so he's not going to trouble the Mercedes driver anytime soon. But that being said, Baz does have a bad run through the loop, and Caesar
This
Khusrav gets a time
game, oh
penalty.
god, I'm stuck in the race director. I might have to restart the game.
Oh, that's not ideal, as Khusrav has
Mushraf!
retired. Oh, that's in the pits, never mind.
Okay.
And well, that's the Red Bull master plan. Sorry, Vyom, I'll just keep talking about it because you said it one time too many. TBK on the inside of easy level bot, and they're going to go side by side. And TBK has just made the mistake. He's barged his way through, to be honest.
Do send me a
And
quick invite though. Let me check if I can join through friends. Let me check. I don't think so. I
yep,
can.
I have sent an invite.
Thank you.
And well, so Husrav is out. Abhishek is still running and he's in P11, so he needs one more driver to crash out for him to get any sort of points.
Crash out.
And yeah, well, that's what it is. But yeah, so Azun and TPK is still going on the inters, and Azun is slightly catching up to Oxidize. So maybe it's slightly getting better, but visually,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
caught
think.
up by 5 tenths now in a
Yeah, but
couple of
visually,
laps.
it's not getting better. So well, let's see what happens there, and if Azun can catch up. Well, I say that, but he's in the process just lost 2 tenths to Oxidize. So all is calm right now. There are considerable gaps all around the field except between Oxidize and Chips, who are in a battle for P5 right now. Oxidize, of course, has a penalty, so he'll have to take care of that as well. At the checkered flag, and the gap Redstone has not really increased. In fact, it has decreased, and
I
it's
think he made a slight error right now because I did see the gap go down to 1.5 and then suddenly go up to 1.8 right now. So, I mean, he still has 4.5 laps, I could say, to get it done.
yeah, and now Caesar has caught up to Baz, who must be now struggling with tires at least a little bit, if not a lot. And Caesar
Yep.
would hope that he can take advantage of the worn tires which Basil has, and is almost made the perfect strategy work. The only one to not make any stops in this race is running in the podium positions, but he needs to really do a mega job in the last 4 laps to finish on those podium positions, as he has a very fast Caesar breathing down his neck for the last few laps of the race. The gap ahead,
Yeah, look at that gap.
2.5.
Look at that gap. Yep.
Redstone absolutely flying, and you know what? I'm not going to spectate him until he's about to cross the finish line. I just don't want any kind of panotada on him,
Yeah.
and we
I
really
mean, right
hope.
now it's no point spectating him because only we need to is see the gap between Ethan and Redstone because he's not really fighting anyone apart from, I mean, his own self. His basically target is getting, rid of the 3 second by
He's basically
going
fighting
fast. That's it.
Redstone from a few laps ago, who would have gotten all those warnings. But someone who's fighting is Abhi and Easy Level Bot. Abhi has caught up to Easy Level Bot, who's on 19 lap old wet tires. So Easy Level Bot, of course, has made a pit stop, but very early into the race, and he has a time penalty as well. So Abhi might, or rather will, get points if things are like this. And look at his bot. You can see clearly he's driving on a controller and not used to driving on a controller. The lines is taking. Abhi has gone wide there and might have gotten a warning in the process. Is it
Yeah,
just
but
me, or is Easy Level Bot lagging a little bit there?
yeah, easy level is lagging a bit. His car feels very twitchy all of a sudden. I did notice that when Azun made the move stick on easy level, it felt like they came pretty close, but it was
And he loses the
actually
position to
easy
Abhi
level's
there,
car.
and Abhi then gives it back. What happened
Okay,
there?
Abhi's like, no, I want to fight.
Who?
Abhi is
Abhishek.
like, maybe I wanna. No, 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 Abhi. Come on, man. What are you saying, Abhi? Easy level is
No, I'm
fighting
saying
Abhi,
you
and
want
Abhi.
Abhi wants to fight Abhishek. Why is he giving that place
Abhi
back
wants to
again?
fight easy level, like fair and square. Maybe he doesn't wanna, you know, he doesn't want to do what he does to other people.
Right. So Azun has now properly caught up to Oxidize, who is stuck behind Chips. So let's see
Yeah.
if Azun can make those intermediate tires work to his advantage. He's pretty close, and he's using his battery. He's in the slipstream, and well, it's not close enough to kind of make a move. And let's see, the gap up ahead is 3.2 seconds, and Caesar is now well and truly behind Basil. He has 2.5 laps to make this move, and he seems to be very determined to get ahead of that Williams. In real life, you don't see a Williams and an Aston Martin fighting for a podium position, but such is the nature of this equal
Performance Indian
performance
Racing League.
car. Thank you for helping me out with
Abhi
words. Abhi is
finally
finally
making
through.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, you might just give it back, knowing Abhi. Oh, Caesar has made a move. Caesar has made a move down the inside of Basil, and Basil is
And
still
Basel
fighting it.
again.
Is he going to send it? No, Basil has to stay behind. So Caesar up into P3. That's a very, very hard fought podium for him, but still has to survive 2 more laps.
Oh, Baz wanted to really push there. He had to live there because he did start sliding. Baz, P4 is not bad, considering you did not pit at all. So,
Yeah, well, he did
Can't-
watch a race from last night, and he knows you can win the race by
yeah,
not
but
pitting
he's
as well.
D1. I'm D2. That's the difference. Also, he's Baz. I'm Smith. That's also the difference. Okay, yeah.
Right,
Look at
so-
him. He doesn't want to lose his car there.
Right, on board with Oxidized right now, who now can probably. Oh, who lost it? Was it Abhishek?
Abhishek's. Yep, that's Abhishek's.
Okay.
I believe his front wing is intact. Also, Red Bull. Let's go on board with. So Baz, yeah, gradually losing time to Caesar. So I believe.
Oh,
Caesar
here
now
goes
has it under
Azun, has
control.
got a great run out of that corner. Oh, someone has lost it, and it's
I
not
think that
Abhishek.
is that Ethan?
Yeah, it is
Yes, that
Ethan.
was
Look
Ethan.
at that.
That was Ethan.
9
that
seconds.
gives Caesar.
How's the gap
Caesar
9
would
seconds?
be. Yeah, Caesar would be now looking very opportunistic because the gap is under 1 second, though he only has a lap to go.
Yeah, on board with Azul
I'm
right now, deploying
sure-
his battery, and he's just not able to get through. But Oxidize might get a move done on Chips. Is he?
Chips. As far as I know, Chips might give him a very good fight, so I don't think. Um, wait, what?
Yeah, Azul just let
Azul
him
just-
go. Just let TBK go. I think. I think TBK's reputation to basically F shit up. I think this is
I mean,
why.
Oxidize
TBK has a
and
time
TBK both have
penalty.
3 seconds.
Yeah, so Azul just wants
So he's like
to play it
"Kar le
safe.
bhai." Yeah, he's like you fight with Oxidize in case you get him on track. I'll get you with the penalties. Maybe that's what they're looking at. But yeah,
Right, so
let's go on
Caesar,
board with
5
Caesar, who is
tenths.
actually yeah. And all that we missed on.
It's very, very close. This is the last opportunity he will get. Oh, Ethan is without a front wing. Completely missed that. Ethan is without a front wing, and Caesar can get P2 here. He just has to keep it in the straight line and in Baggets and Beckets. Ethan is
Okay.
going to lose a lot of time. Look at him struggling through cops, and Caesar. Oh, this is so painful. Azun, by the way, ahead of TBK will, but we'll stay with this battle for P2. I think Basil might get him as well, and Caesar has to be very, very careful. Oh, there's contact.
Oh, he knows he's gonna understeer, so he might. I believe that is one of the.
Azul
that's
up ahead,
easy
and
level.
Oxidize has lost more positions. But Ethan still without a front wing is ahead of Caesar, but Caesar down the inside, and that's like
Caesar
taking
down the
candy away
inside.
from a
Of
base.
course, he had to
But
take it down the
here he
inside.
is, Redstone winning the race. Caesar and Ethan still going side by side, and Caesar might just about get it. Yeah, he will. So Caesar up into
Yeah,
P2.
does Baz get him
Ethan
as well, and
without
Baz gets
Baz.
himself.
Oh my God, Baz.
Chips, where is Chips?
Chips is a
Baz
long
has
way
crossed
back.
the line. Yeah.
Baz in P4, Chips in P5. Azun will finish P6 on intermediates. TBK will finish P7 on intermediates as well. Abhi is going to finish P8. Oxidize and Easy will bought P9 and P10. That's the last of the points. Oxidize, what happened there? What?
What?
How did he crash out there?
Did he do that on purpose?
Abhishek goes through, so he
Also-
will get points.
Is easy level out of fuel?
No, I think he's just letting people through because he's a reserve. and he's now going
Okay.
to mow some grass, and he's going to mow some more grass as he comes
He might
across the
get
line.
DSQ.
Well, I don't
Okay.
think he cares, to be honest. But
Yeah.
yeah, what a race! Redstone deserving win for him. Caesar in P2 after Ethan made a mistake, but Ethan without a front wing still manages to finish on the podium in P3. Smith, if you can get
Yep.
Smith, if you can get Redstone, Caesar, and Ethan in the
Yeah,
party
yeah.
chat, we'll have a quick chat with them, and we do have our fourth different race winner in the 5 races we have had so far in Division 1.
Bro, we gotta talk out to Caesar. Being okay, he's online, all right. We won't be like I leave for 5 minutes and this happens. I mean, you were there for the entire race and still that happened, yo. But yeah, here we are, Redstone. What a drive. P2 in the sprint race and finishing P1 in the main race. Very, very good drive by Redstone there. Caesar making the most of it. Unfortunate for Ethan over there, I believe, in the main race, who lost out his front wing and had to settle with P3. Baz giving a decent fight with a no stopper in P4. Chips, with all that pit stop drama, finally finishes in top 5. Azun in P6 uh, sticks to Winters. So does, I believe, TBK in P7. Abhi, again, another guy in D2, hats off, finishing P8. Abhishek is in P9 and easy level in P10. So that is our top 10 finishers. And after that, all the drivers unfortunately did not finish. Starting from Oxidize, Hushra, Whiffix, Refking, Viper Speed, PSI, Sume, and Quickfiller.
Right, so I don't think Caesar is in yet, is he?
Nope,
No,
he's
so we'll
not.
start with Ethan. Ethan, I hope you can hear us and I hope your audio settings are fine so people can hear you on the stream. Walk us through your race, Ethan. So much battling between you and Caesar to start with, and then you and Basil, you and Redstone as well, and with obviously wet weather conditions. How was the race for you, Ethan? And of course, the lack of downforce in the last two laps where you lost your wing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty happy with the race considering that I didn't have a good setup. In fact, I used a dry setup because I wasn't prepared for the race. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it anyway, so didn't bother practicing at all. Um, yeah, I enjoyed battling Basil that last few laps. I think the last couple of laps. He was on older tires, so it was slightly easy for me. Um, I kept bottoming out on the straight. It was due to my lack of ride height. I think I was running less than 3, so I was struggling on straights and corners on exits. So I kept losing the rear end. Yeah, and just Redstone man, he was flying. Couldn't keep up with him.
But what happened over there? I mean, towards the end, where you
Um,
lost your front wing.
I think it's just setup issues. Like I was running the ride height less than 3, so I bottomed out like mid corner and just lost the car. I tried to keep it out of the
Okay.
wall, but the car was just understeering. So tried
Okay.
my best, but
But yeah,
defended the
I
last two laps
mean,
again.
full props to you for giving out a very decent fight to Caesar. Though you were understeering, but I believe you knew when to brake and when to accelerate. So yeah, good job over there.
Yep, great job indeed, Ethan. Welcome to Caesar. Caesar, what a race and what a final few laps where you finally got that P2. Walk us through your start as well because I think you had a brilliant start and you got V6 off the line. And through the conditions, you would have heard some people betting on those intermediate tires. Was there any shred of doubt for you at least that intermediates would be the way to go?
First of all, congrats to Ethan and Redstone. What pace! I mean, it was incredible, the pace that he had. So congrats to both of them. First of all, starting with Kohli, I was unable to get a lap in properly, 148 at Britain, and still ending up P10. I think that kind of came as a blessing. But yeah, I think I was able to get good launch off the line in sprint as well as the feature race. So once I had the position and once the race sorted itself out, I think it was all about managing the pace and not fight a lot of people too hard. And yeah, coming back to the last few laps, yes, Basil, he was kind of struggling on his, the old wets compared to mine. So I knew that he was making mistakes. So I just had to, pick my moment up and go for the move, which happened luckily with a couple of laps to go. And then Ethan, unlucky for him, he made a mistake. And I realized this at the last lap. VFix told me that he was carrying a wing damage. So that kind of pushed me to, possible try to send it down the inside. So that's what happened, and I was able to, take that P2 into the bag. So yeah, happy.
Yeah. Smith, any questions for Caesar before we move on?
I think he's honestly summed up pretty well. Um, well, congratulations, Caesar, and good fight to the end. I would say good move on Baz, good move on Ethan. I'm sure you would also be like almost sweating towards the end because you were like mostly keeping, I mean, taking care of your car and not making sure it doesn't collide with Ethan's understeering car. So
Yeah, I mean, it was good bashing Basil. The thing was, when I was trying to keep, I would say, Redstone behind, uh, when I saw that he was going to go for a move, I let him through just with with the thought that the URL boys will be able to hold him up and his 3 seconds penalty will come into play and I would be able to capitalize. But once both the URL boys made a mistake on the same lap and he was through and it was like, okay, fine, that's done and dusted. And I think Redstone really showed what pace he had tonight. So congrats to him again.
yeah, yeah. There's a difference between URL and IRL.
Whoa. Okay.
No, no, I'm just kidding.
This is why we get Smith on comms. This is exactly why. But yeah, congratulations, Caesar, once again. Moving on to the man for whom we need a Division Zero, Redstone. What did you eat for breakfast this morning? What was that pace? Very unlucky that you did not get laps in DRS for the sprint race, but that was a mega pace and very, very commendable drive. I don't know if I have something to ask you, but just talk us through your race and the few battles you had on track and making a mockery out of everyone around you.
First of all, congrats to Ethan and Caesar. They did a phenomenal job as well. And with qualifying, I wasn't too happy with my lap. I felt like I had 3 more tenths, but I just couldn't make it on time. I couldn't start my last lap on time. And so I settled for P2. And then in the sprint race, I knew I had a lot of pace, and I was just holding behind Hushtav to make the move later. And the safety car really messed things up for me, and I just ran out of laps. Maybe one lap at DRS I could have gotten the move done, but that was it. And the start in the main race was quite good. I felt like I was doing a great job, and Hushra was sliding around quite a bit, so I was just trying not to run into him, which eventually happened during the safety car because my throttle sort of got stuck. So it just, my car slowly creeped into his rear and I broke my wing. And I tried driving for 3 laps after that. And I think Basil passed me and Ethan passed me, I think. And I was like, no, it's time to pit. And went on the wets and just stayed out. And I was quite surprised that Caesar just let me through because I was hoping for a battle. And then I saw Ethan and Basil make a few mistakes and I just capitalized. And post that, I was just trying to keep Ethan 3 seconds behind. And I think 2 laps to go, Ethan was 3.7 seconds behind before he spun. And yeah, and I think someone dived. When I was trying to make a move on Ethan. I think some other guy, I'm not sure who it was, sent one down the inside. And
Yeah, that was Baz, I think.
yeah,
So if you're referring to the penultimate corner, I think that was Baz.
Yes. So I was quite lucky not to get tangled up in that and could keep going. But other than that, like I felt confident, and like Inters, I don't think would have been the right call because the last 3 laps my tires were gone, and I felt like just I don't know. It was a good race, and that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. Smith, anything
Yeah, what a
for
race.
Redstone?
Yeah, what a race. I mean, initially I did see you struggling on the tires. You got 3 second penalty at the very start of the race, I believe, under 5 laps. I thought maybe you don't have the right setup for the wet race, but then gradually it all, you know, came into play. So what happened actually on the initial part of the
Oh,
race?
so for the 3 seconds, I had a wing damage, so I was understeering everywhere, and I didn't
Oh,
want to let everyone through, but at a point where I realized, like, there's no point trying to fight it. That's why I dove down to the pits, and
oh, right,
yeah, that's
right. I
pretty much.
believe you pit, and immediately after you pit, there was a safety car. So
Yeah,
that was a bit
that
unlucky.
was.
But
Yeah,
then raw pace actually came into play, and you did win. So congratulations, Weston.
thank you guys.
Yep, awesome job, Redstone. From someone who did spin out of every safety car restart. I remember back in the day, you have come a long way, and we're all very happy for you. So, congratulations to you and Caesar as well as Ethan. And that's it from the comms box tonight. Thank you, Smith, for providing us with your expert analysis along with the biryani dinner you had. And thank you, everyone, for
Yeah.
sticking around. We'll see you next week in Spain. I think that's the new layout finally, which has been coded into the game. So we'll see you out on track next weekend. Until then, take care of yourselves. Good night and bye bye.